everybody. This is our, nope, it's not a weekly briefing video. This is the video for how to do the meet the character activity. So let me pull this up. So basically, depending on the which of my three classes you're in, you're either doing Malu from the First Rule of Punk, or you might be doing Jack or Joseph from Orbiting Jupiter, or you might be doing Pony Boy from The Outsiders. I'm going to show how to do this for Malu from the first novel, from the First Rule of Punk, just because it applies to the most students. So basically, we want to do a deep dive or really go deep on how our character, just on our character as a full human, meaning what do they think, what do they feel, what do they do, and where do they go. Now, notice that under do and go, it says might. And under thinking and feeling, it says is. What is the character thinking? What is the character feeling? But I just want to be really clear that these verbs can change tense. So this is really just anything about your character. It can be from the first page of the book to anything we've read now. So it can be past tense. It can be your prediction about the future tense, as long as you can back it up with a quote. So it can be or it can be something that they're doing right this very second. Okay. So we're going to start with going, because I think that's the most challenging one. So in our class, we kind of identified that Malu, there's lots of places that Malu did or might go. But one thing that kind of stood out to a lot of students was that she might go to the record store that her dad recommended her, right? Or she hasn't gone. You could say she has not gone yet to the record store her dad recommended her. But basically in this column right here, that is, you'll type in red, and you should just, in your own words, write where she might go. Or up here, you'll write what she is thinking, was thinking, might be thinking in the future, feeling, and doing. Then, okay, the record store. Well, now you got to go find a quote about the record store. And so what a lot of students found was the quote where her dad told her to check the record store out. Okay, so you'll have to check out Lori's Plan on Sound. One thing that's really important is that because it's a quote, we're going to spell we're going to write every single thing in this quote exactly like it is in the book. Okay. The one difference being, of course, whoa, that is way smaller. Sorry. The one difference, of course, being that at the end of the quote, unless the quote ends in a question mark or an exclamation point, you're just going to leave it blank. There's only the quotation marks after the last letter of the quote. And then you come out here and put what page it was on and a period. Okay. Now, you guys are really doing a really great job on this part. So deciding what she's thinking, feeling, doing, or where she might go, you guys are going to rock that. The quotes, you guys have been absolutely rocking finding good quotes and citing them. So here's the hard part of this, is that you're going to do an explanation and an analysis of the language. Notice analysis, and then over here is a whole column that says analyze. So analysis, analyze, analysis, analyze. Those are two forms of the same word. Okay, so we are going to pull words from here, this to help you analyze column, and add them into our explanation analysis language. Okay, so here we remember that we always want to explain things as if the person who's going to read our work has not read what we've read and doesn't know what we know. You have to give a little bit of background. So if I had never read this book, I'd be like, some kid named Malu or some person named Malu might go to a record store that her dad recommended. And then I have a quote of probably her dad recommending it, but the quote doesn't even say that. So I have to explain it, because otherwise my reader is going to be confused. So I connect it. Malu's dad suggested a record shop she should visit. Okay, that gives me some background. However, she has not visited yet, and this suggests, right? Suggests, that's one of our analyze words, that Malu is nervous she might like the shop more than her dad's. The reason we chose the word suggests instead of maybe indicates or shows is because we don't know for sure that that's why she hasn't gone. That's what we think might be happening. So it just suggests. This quote, if this quote said, Malu, I have not gone to that record store, the record store my dad recommended because I'm worried that I might like it more than dad's, then we would say this indicates instead of suggests that Malu is nervous. But it doesn't say it that clear cut. We had to figure this out for ourselves, and we could be wrong. So it just suggests. Okay. So those of you, if you're doing this activity at home on your own or for whatever reason you were absent, this is something you can and should pause and copy because everyone in the room got to copy this. Okay. But now what you're going to do is go and find your 3 of your own. What was Malu, what is or was or could Malu be thinking? What is or was or could Malu be feeling? And what did she do? What is she doing or what might she do? Okay. Find a quote and then explain it. The main things before you can turn this in, guys, you have to run a spell check. You just have to, because remember that for some reason, a lot of you guys, it's on your computer screen, it's not showing up with a red underline when you misspell something. So you just have to run a spell check to double check. Remember that the way you do that is that you come up to format. Nope, no, you don't. You go to tools, spelling, and then spell check. Okay. Also, you need to just run through it yourself and double check that you have capitalized all the proper nouns, like all the names. Of course, double check that your quote is perfect, perfectly copied out of the book. But yeah, and then of course you have to have a blue analysis word or analyze word from over here. One of these words needs to be in your black sentence. Okay. If you need any help or are confused by this, just reach out, message me. I can maybe pull you in during enrichment. Okay. But yeah, reach out if you have any questions at all. And I hope this helps. Thanks, guys. Bye.